Earth Network with your host, Sean Myrie. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Down to Earth Network, we're on Spotify Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio, and all the podcast platforms. Well, today, right, to continue, and they're going back to it. You could call it a distraction, whatever you wanna call it. But Melania, Donald Trump's wife, is speaking out once again. I don't know if it's just for promo for her book, but she's talking about the Epstein files in regards to that because people, mentioned her in the Epstein files that she knew Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein. And, she wants to deny it. So let me read what's going on because she had a little speech, the other day talking. The First Lady Melania Trump seemed hopeful that if she denounced alleged ties between herself and Jeffrey Epstein should make the issue go away. No, it's not going away. It's going to get worse, right? Instead, she may have only added fuel to the fire. I think she's going to probably, down the line, leave Donald Trump. Following her rare, right? Public appearance at the White House podium. Oh, it was on the White House podium. Thursday, April 9th, blasting what she categorized as lies and false smears about her connections to the dead, disgraced wealth manager. Democrats, called the hall the first. What did they say about the first lady? The first lady to Capitol Hill to testify. Oh, so it's the Democrats. I see. So the Democrats called her to testify on Capitol Hill. I think it's kind of to shame her because, she's Donald Trump's wife, right? So they called her to Capitol Hill to testify under oath in the Epstein investigations. Start of the day. Okay, see what's going on. So the First Lady Melania Trump walks from the Blue Room as she arrives to speak in the Cross Hall of the White House in Washington, D.C. on April 9th. Let's read more because, this is kind of, we'll say, oh, is it a distraction for the war? Both things are a distraction. The Epstein, vice versa, and the war, right? Because right now it's not really quiet, right? The war is still going on, but this is a big story. Donald Trump's wife, and it's going to open up some boxes, a Pandora's box. If the First Lady wants to clear her name, she should come before the Oversight Committee and testify under oath, right? Rep. Suhas, I don't know, I can't even pronounce his name, all right? Said of Virginia, a member of the committee posted on X after news conference. Otherwise, this is just a shameless book promotion, saying she's trying to promote her book. But what's the price promoting her book? Is the price opening up other boxes? Not good. It's still unclear to many in Congress and Washington that Melania Trump thrust herself into the never ending Epstein news cycle this week. So, she's getting attention, but does she want that attention? Because they're going to start asking about your husband, guaranteed, right? However, it drew attention to decades old emails that resurfaced in the Justice Department online Epstein files between herself and his associate Ghislaine Maxwell, who is serving 20 years federal prison sentence for sex trafficking. So, there's the conspiracy theories that, Melania was doing some work with, Maxwell. I never had a relationship with Epstein. This is her, Melania. I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice. Melania Trump said, my emails replied to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence. So she's trying to call it casual correspondence, but when people do an investigation, they're saying, what kind of correspondence you're doing with somebody like her? Do you know what kind of work she was doing? Did you ever know? What correspondence? Trump's senior advisor Mark Beckman said in a statement to the USA Today that the First Lady spoke out, and now's enough is enough. So enough is enough because she spoke out, right? That's why Trump was blasting all those Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and all those people the other day because they've been talking, right, about his wife. The lies must stop. This is what she's saying. It's time for the public and the media to focus on her incredible achievements as First Lady, Beckerman said. While Melania Trump can probably worry less about the threat of subpoenas, right? Right, subpoenas, as long as the GOP lawmakers hold the committee gavels in Congress. The midterm elections aren't far away. If the House representatives flip the Democratic control, she may not be able to avoid a subpoena. Next year, as rare as the scenario would be for the First Lady, and even with the Republicans in charge, other major GOP figures, such as former Attorney General Pam Bondi, haven't been able to avoid bipartisanship. Votes to drag them to the Capitol to talk about Epstein, and the Justice Department bungled accomplices with the Epstein files. So, Bondi, is she fired? Is she fired? Is there a reason why they put that out, that she might have been fired so they could, kind of go away from this Epstein stuff? But it's coming back to haunt people. And did Trump give her the okay to talk? That's what I want to know. Did Trump allow his wife to talk? Because right now they're digging into her, right? So let's see. Clinton's testimonies could spell trouble for Trump. So the testimonies of the Clintons could make trouble for Trump. He's the one who put them in the spotlight to get, go to court, testify. So are you saying Clinton's testimonies? This is recent news, people. So I don't know if this is, it's kind of crazy if this is bigger than the war, but it's at the same time, right? Same time. The war is going on with all the craziness with Donald Trump. At the same time, the Epstein files is, getting released, people doing testimonies, basically getting exposed. No one arrested yet for the Epstein files. But basically, what Melania was saying, and I caught her when she was talking, she's basically saying, go after the powerful people, right? Stop going after people like me. There's people that you're supposed to be looking at. And then the survivor, the victims and stuff like that is talking too. So it doesn't look good because Donald Trump, they accuse Donald Trump of doing things too. So I don't know if Melania is going to still be with Trump after this. I could see that she will divorce. Maybe she won't divorce him. She's hoping that he croaks, right? People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. So right now, Melania wants to clear her name from the Epstein files. Melania was a model, right, back in the days, and she's saying she just went to parties with Trump. They just were all in the same social circle. She's saying we are gonna see him. We're in the same social circle. So let me break this down for you guys, because in her speech she's saying you need to go after the real people, like these powerful people, right? These other, I guess, wealthy men like Epstein. So she's trying to say, yo, don't look at me, maybe not even Trump. Look at these other people. What could have prompted Melania's Trump statement? Let's see. What could have made her want to do this? Remember, Trump is her husband. Did she get any clearance from him to talk? Just when you thought Donald Trump had bombed enough of the Middle East to blow Epstein files right out of the public memory, his wife came out with a statement this afternoon. What the statement was, with no explanatory preamble, that's what they call it, Melanie Trump spoke from the White House podium about how she is not Epstein's victim, was not introduced to her what was not introduced to her husband by Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell, and about how she never visited the private island. She's bringing all of this up. She's bringing all this up. This is looking bad, man. I think this is very bad right now for Donald Trump. People, please subscribe, bring up the likes if you can. This is bad, man. I could read more, right? I was never involved in any capacity, she added. I was not a participant. Sure, maybe. Some people are saying, sure. That's why he's going after all these social media people. He's cursing them out the other day. She acknowledged the existence of a friendly email. Yes, this email is very interesting. A friendly email with Maxwell. So, what's this friendly email between her and Maxwell? But it said it was normal, a light-hearted communication between acquaintances who once ran in the same social circles and sometimes attended the same parties. And Maxwell never told you what she done? or what she was doing, her business? Like, you never asked? Come on. Attempts to paint her as a friend of Epstein's are mean spirited and politically motivated lies, and added a blind what? A blind was raised behind her and lighted pour what? The light poured in. Either way, Maxwell is bad too. This is where I'm gonna break it down for you people. Please subscribe, like, bring up the likes, support the network. Right? So she's talking like Ghislaine Maxwell is innocent too. She could be worse than Epstein, right? She was organizing the stuff. So it was all right for you to have a relationship with Maxwell, who's locked up for 18 years, not for or 20 years actually. But Epstein, you're still guilty. Don't say that. This is actually worse. What she's saying. Let me read more. It was a short statement, just over 5 minutes long, and seemingly um, of nothing. At the very end, the first lady called for the woman. Check this. This is what's controversial. This is where she's gonna get it, and this maybe might dig up more about Donald Trump. People, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It's the Down to Earth Network, and I'm digging in. So this is what it says. It was a short statement, just over 5 minutes long, seemingly okay. First Lady called for the women who have already publicly identified themselves as Epstein victims to be able to testify in Congress. So she's telling them that they should be able to testify in Congress. I know the game, what she's playing, Melania. She knows some of the ladies are paid. She knows some of them took some money. So I don't know if this is an angle that she's trying to protect her husband, because I think, and people are questioning it all around. I think her husband, which a lot of people do, is involved in the Epstein files. So something's gonna hit the fan, people. Something's hitting the fan. Donald Trump's been cursing for the last couple of days. He's an old man. He's about 30 years old. So I'm guessing some arguments been going on between him and his wife. And that's why his wife is doing this statement. Maybe he said, do not do anything. And this is the result, people. This is the result. So she wants the victims of Epstein to testify before Congress. Let's read. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in the public. They were protecting them, weren't they? If she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered in the congressional record, she said, eyes fixed almost entirely on the lectern in front of her. Then only this is what's his name, his wife, right? Then only then we will have the truth. Thank you. At that, immediately turned and walked away. That's what she. Now, what do you guys think of this, Melania? She's been quiet for a long time. I swear she disappeared from public eye for a long time, especially with Donald Trump's madness. Bless up everybody in the chat. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. She's been quiet for a long time. Now she's talking. Did Donald Trump allow her to talk? You guys got to kind of look on that, right? Let me read some more. Statements by the First Lady are rare in the first place, and are rarer still statements that happen in a very little warning and very little background. Her name is sometimes connected to initiatives and champion women and children's rights, such as the Talk It Down Act and bans AI generated revenge porn, and was given. Listen, let me tell you something. She's trying to sell her book. This is a desperate thing she's using to sell her book. Like, let me go out and clear my name of the Epstein stuff. But I was just friendly with Maxwell. I was just friendly with her. I shared emails with her. Why? Why would you share? Okay, there's cell phones, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. These are rich people. They got cell phones. So why are you using emails? Emails is like you're trying to be more sneaky to me, like to communicate. Oh, we're just friendly. Give me your email so I could email you. What year was this? So what, 2000? They still got cell phones in 2000. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. So this makes sense why Trump was cursing out people for 3 days. He's stressed, right? And there's other people like Vance. There's more stories coming out, people. What's going on with Vance, right? I'll talk about that later. But Melania, trying to cover up that she never knew anything about Epstein. But she's good friends with Grizzling. It kind of sounds like Hillary Clinton. So, kind of reminds me of Hillary Clinton. Oh, my she was invited to my daughter's wedding, right? But I'm not good with. I don't really know her, but she was invited because of somebody you invited, right? So the whole thing, if you guys look back at even Hillary Clinton's testimony, the first big famous one, and Bill Clinton's testimony, it's bad. But guess what? The war overshadowed that whole thing. As soon as Bill Clinton testified, I swear the war was on. So now you don't even have the highlights. I covered that one. You don't even have the highlights of what they were talking about, really, unless someone digs it up. Remember, there was like hours and hours of testimony from Bill Clinton and his wife. So this one now, Melania, she came out and talked, right? Shouldn't she doesn't want to be questioned. She doesn't want to be questioned like Hillary for like 5 hours, right? So this had to be a judgment between her and her husband to talk about this. We should be bringing every single person who's a victim, and they should be registered in some type of Congress type of stuff. Guess what? They don't know exactly every victim. That's what I'm pointing out. They know some of them, but they don't know every single victim. Some of the victims probably did get paid off down the line. I've done my research on the Epstein files. Epstein was never locked up for 20 people. This is what I'm going to give you. He wasn't locked up for 30 people. Epstein was locked up for two cases, and the government made a deal with him in the first case, and he served only like 10 months and came out. He wasn't even in prison. I think it was house arrest, right? And then he came out, and for like 12 years he kept doing his thing until they arrested it, or they arrested him, and they say that they claim he hanged himself, right? So remember that Epstein didn't get charged for 20, 50 victims. So when they're talking, yes, people will say, oh, because he's gone now, I was a victim, I was a victim, I was a victim. Not saying there ain't no victims, but if you look it up the case, and I could look it up for you guys and read, Epstein was only charged with two charges, right? I think one was trafficking and one was doing something with a minor, right? It was one girl's mother who came forward and pushed it, right, to the FBI, and the FBI came after him. So let's get it clear. Epstein, when he passed away or died, the case died. That's what happens. But now they're trying to dig it up. 3 million files. Pam Bondi's fired all of a sudden, or she might be fired. Do you see how they're playing the game? Oh, Cash Patel. Oh, he might be fired. He's not fired. That guy's the guy who's been helping Trump the most with all these Epstein files. He's the one who's been, looking at them, going over them, filtering it out. Pam Bondi said she threw it on her desk and she didn't take it seriously. But Melania is making sure she's covering her ass. If you look on it, Melania is making sure she's covering her ass. Listen, when she's finished with Trump, when Trump is finished, she's probably going to wait till he croaks. She's going to be so rich, and the family's going to be fighting against her. But one thing she'll have over all the sons is some dirt in her bag. I'll tell you that. When you seen her come out, that is a big thing, bigger than a lot of events what's going on in America right now. That's to show you the relationship with Trump and his wife right now. Do you think Trump wants her to say this? Do you? Because this is gonna get more interesting, people. She's talking, saying, "I was never involved." We get it. You want to say that you were never involved, but guess what? She admitted this though. She'd been to many parties with Trump because we're in the same social circle. She throw him under the bus if he's gonna lie anything about that, saying we've been at many parties with this man and stuff. So she cannot say that. So that means she met the man's girlfriend. She was good with the girlfriend. Much respect, Richard Crosby. She was good friends with Grizzlane. And Grizzlane was a madam. So you did not know anything? Remember, people, I'm gonna dig deeper, and maybe this is why she's nervous. This is why I'm gonna kick to you guys. Grizzlane was a madam, and it wasn't just underage girls. Let me give you it. It wasn't underage girls, there's older ladies. And Trump's wife, Melania, right, years back, right, she was a model and she knows a lot of girls. Let me tell you guys, she knows a lot of women, right? So guess what? She probably was throwing some of those, people she knew to, grizzling some billionaires, right? Coincidence? She's in the model industry. Grizzline's in the prostitution industry. Some of these washed up maybe models she throws to them. That's what it is. Donald Trump was into, I think Miss America and the pageants and stuff like that. If we want to link Donald Trump to it, they all been around ladies. So it's not just underage children, right? It's big, big adults like Puffy style. So what's going to happen is this is a distraction. It's like both are using each other. The war, Epstein. The war, Epstein. Which one? Now I'm gonna hit you because I've been doing the war report and they ain't running from me. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Since Melania Trump came out, and this is an algorithm, since she's been coming out talking, I notice a lot of the wars, like there's a lot more things going on, right? And they're not telling you. Israel is starting up fighting a lot. There's a lot of fighting going on in the Middle East. And Trump is saying basically, yo, we got weapons. We're piling them up. We're piling them up. We're ready. We got the firepower. But this is what it is, people. But she may still have to go before Congress. Whew. That's why she brought up, let's have the girls talk before Congress. Thank you for that, Richard Crosby. Yes. You see what you just said that? But she may still have to go before Congress because this is her doing, really, kind of. Congress, they'll talk to her for like hours and hours. So she's trying to go ahead of that, right? I like that you brought that up because they're going to dig into her like the rest, right? People don't understand these investigations, what they're doing. They're piling all these people who are testifying, and when they're finished with a good amount of them who testify, they're going to analyze all what they've been saying and try to connect certain things. And if they connect certain things, certain people are going to go to jail. It's coming to that point that there's going to be a couple millionaires or important people who probably have to sacrifice going to prison. Now, who will it be? It's like it's going like a wheel. Who will it be? Which billionaire who you guys don't know who's going to go to prison? Donald Trump is the president, so he can't go to prison yet. He passed those 35 charges and stuff. He ain't going yet. I know people want to see Donald Trump locked up, but that's not happening, right? That's not happening. Donald Trump's not going anywhere. But his wife, I'm wondering if him and his wife are still together, really, or it's for sure. It could be for sure. Like I think Obama and his wife might could be for sure too. They don't look. No, no. I say Clinton. The Clintons look like they're for sure. Are they really together? Much respect, Kath Wallace. Yes, but you may still listen. I want her to go to Congress because this whole thing, what she's doing, is a distraction. We want to, they know people want to know about the Epstein files a lot, and people like me been exposing it. That's why yesterday he went after Candace Owens, Donald Trump, went after Tucker Carlson, and I forgot the other one's name. I'll bring it up. But that's why he was blasting them because they're the ones who keep reminding people that about the Epstein files. He hates people who are talking about the Epstein files, right? And that's why he went nuclear on the media yesterday. And now his wife says, "Okay, I'm going to be going on right now to talk." Right? It's crazy. So what more is going to dig up? What more is coming? Should she have done this? Is this actually, it is working. It is a distraction. I have to give it. It is working because I see a lot of stuff in the Middle East going on. If you don't know, Israel is doing a lot of stuff, bombing Hezbollah and Lebanon, and America is stacking up, right? That 2 weeks is just to get ready. Yeah, yeah, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Why? Let me knock you out for 30 minutes, right? People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes. It's the Down to Earth Network, the Down to Earth podcast, and we're talking about Melania Trump. Once a model, she's not an ugly woman. I have to give him that. She's not ugly. I don't know. She's not an ugly woman. So, like 20 something years ago, what, 20, almost 25 years ago, let's take that off, she looked even more better. So guaranteed, right? Maxwell was looking at her and saying, hey, what kind of business are you doing talking to Maxwell? You're telling me you don't know what Maxwell was doing? Like, you never asked what she was doing? Oh, she's just with this rich financier. You never asked anything, like you inquire all that time. It's kind of crazy. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Well, right now, uh, they really got people. Like I've been saying over the months, they got people. And this Melania stuff, it's emotion. It's very sensitive because she's saying all the victims need to testify. All the people should testify, go to Congress, which they're going to tell her to go to Congress soon. So that's why she's saying. I could read it once again. What she's saying. Well, okay, let's go back to an angry. Okay, let me read this. What he said. He was talking about. He's always angry. Let's go back to her saying about congressional. So each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public. She wishes, if she wishes, and then her, oh, if she wishes. So when she is saying each woman should have their day in public, in Congress, it's really her who should be going. They're gonna be telling her to be going to Congress. Much respect, Lise Corsair. They're going to be telling her to go to Congress, like Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. So that's why she's bringing that up. That shows you. That's the only reason she's bringing up the whole Congress stuff, right? Because she's going to be going there, right? One in the chat if you like Melania Trump as the vice president. Two, no, right? Because I know that, uh, what's his name, Obama's wife, a lot of people liked her. She was doing a lot. She was doing a lot, but people, Obama got a lot of hate. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Um, they'll be going after more people who was involved in this whole Epstein fiasco. She's doing her head start right now. She's doing her head start before they call her to Congress and force her to talk. So when you seen her talk yesterday, you could see the anger in her. Like, I don't have nothing to do with this, blah, 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 blah. Right? So Donald Trump and her, I guaranteed, I could put money on it. Donald Trump and her had a fight. Guaranteed. Donald Trump and her had some type of agreement, and maybe it's like he's saying, go, talk, clear your name, do whatever the hell you want. She's doing a book, right? She's doing a book. So wait a minute. Oh, she's born April 26th. What a coincidence. It's like it's her birthday coming up. They do things for a reason, people. Her birthday's the 26th, so that's coming up. 1970, Slovenian American, former model. Okay, so she's a former model. That's who she is. Her birthday's coming up. She has a book, what she's going to be releasing soon. So this is part of her. She said, "Oh, you want to know the rest?" This is what she said. I swear she said that. Oh, you got to look out for the book, or you got to get the book. What else do you and Maxwell? If you have relations with Maxwell, they should be investigating this woman. Why aren't they investigating Melania? Oh, because she's the first lady. But she says she has all some stuff to tell people, but it's in a book. Think of it. She's very brave to tell you that she has information in a book, right? It's crazy. What's next? And that's going to make people want to buy her book. They're going to want to buy her book for sure. And all she wants is people to read her book, what she has to say. Donald Trump, I guarantee, made sure he looked over that book. Or he got people to look over that book, because you can't say no personal things about Donald Trump, right? About his headpiece, what he has on his head, and all the other stuff. Now, recent news, I think one of Donald Trump's daughters was doing some like memory type of stuff, or some interview. She was crying about her mother, Ivanka Trump. Remember the first lady before? So she brought that up. I just had to say that. So now you see her talking. She's talking. What else I could read what she's saying? The speech is a striking example of the Streisand effect, experts say. What's the Streisand effect? This isn't the first time Melania Trump has sought to distance herself from Epstein, though in the past she's done so more quietly. In September, the Daily Beast retracted the article alleging that the former model had met Donald Trump through a modeling agent connected to Epstein after the site was contacted. Oh, now I see. And she said, no, that's not true. Now I understand. Because if Griseline was a madame, right? If she was a style type of madame, right? And you are a model, they're saying that the madame was getting models from the same place, like models for her clients, the same place where she came from that stock. That's what they're saying. Is it possible? I'm looking at the picture now, and I'm looking at a young Melania, and Melania, man, she's very young. She what year was this? 2000. So she was about 30. I'm guessing 31 years old or something like that. She looked completely different, like very young, right? So Grizzlane now is there as with a picture. What's his name? Epstein's holding her, right? So I think, you know what? I'm going to put money on it. And it's going to come out later on, maybe after Donald Trump is not the president. She was probably working in some type of connection with Grizzlane. Probably. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. She probably was. April 26th, a day of mourning. That's the day. That's my grandmother's birthday, actually. Rest in power to her. That's my grandmother's birthday. My birthday's coming up too, the 22nd. If on Earth Day, that's why it's down to Earth. My birthday is actually on Earth Day, right? 22nd. But yeah, I see this picture of Melania Trump and Donald Trump and 2000, right? This is an early picture, 2000. About the same time he says he cut all ties. After that, he cut all ties with Epstein. I've done a whole deep dive on Epstein a couple times. There's some stories where I guarantee they stopped it from the algorithm, but I made one of he's CIA and Mossad, 100%. Right? If you don't dig, you're not gonna learn. I just dig. This guy is 100% CIA, and what happened to him? He wasn't always CIA, but what happened is they used him because they were blackmailing him, right? They were blackmailing him because he was working for Israel and America, straight up. There's so much evidence pointing to this, to that, and that's the stuff what they want to hide. The reason we're not hearing about Epstein, um, people who's been doing abuse, the reason we're not hearing about arrest is this to show you how dirty this world is. That no, there's a price for everything. So as long as you have money, you're filthy rich, billionaire, and you own industries, right? And you have a lineage of it, you ain't going to prison. You ain't getting locked up, right? Because you got that lineage. So this guy Epstein, whatever, he stepped out of line a little bit or something, and he's a victim of a lot of people's success, a financier. He's a sacrifice because something was going on in the system and getting cracked. Now, Melania, right now, she is in a situation now where her husband is going over everything what she said. I don't know if it works out for him or not, but I don't think it's working out for him. Only the distraction from the war it's working for. I see a picture now. Whew, man, holy. Now I see why she came out to talk. People, I'm gonna break this down before anybody else breaks this down who's a content maker. I see this other picture. And in this picture, it has the model from England. And they've been accusing her of the same thing. What's her name? Naomi Campbell. It's not Naomi Campbell. What's her name again? Let me see it. The supermodel. I remember her back in the days, man. Everybody used to like her. Yeah, Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell. And then she's a model. Grizzlane is there. So they were recruiting from the models. It's not just underage stuff. They were recruiting certain models who probably weren't as big prostitutes. It's obvious. You see Donald Trump hugging his wife, and he loves some chocolate too, because of Nicki Minaj, hugging Naomi Campbell and Jeffrey Epstein's wife, girlfriend, right there. All three of them. He's in a picture. Is that fake? It's not fake. I don't think that's fake. So my man is getting angry, doing all types of crazy stuff, so they don't dig up nothing on him, people. He's doing all types of stuff, so they don't dig anything up on him. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes. This is bad. And there's more to it. Let me see. The email is going to be the thing that travels furthest to keep this story alive. So they're saying the email is going to make this story stay alive. Whatever the email is, I was telling you, why you're doing emails. That's some business type of stuff. People use emails for business, not to talk, oh, how are you? And no, this email is going to be the thing that travels furthest and keeps the story alive longest. Beechin told Huffington Post. Okay, Morse, let's see whatever. How would it, okay, I don't want to read that guy. Why did the First Lady choose to speak now? Why did she choose to speak now? Why do you think she chose to speak now? That's the biggest question, people. Why is she choose to speak now? What, she getting deported too? No. Why is she speaking now? Because you know why she's speaking now? Donald Trump said there's a ceasefire for 2 weeks, right? And this Epstein stuff been coming up. I told you about the lady who came forward 2 times and they knocked that story down about accusing Donald Trump in the 80s, somewhere in the 80s, of doing something to her. I don't know if he knew Epstein in the 80s. That's where it's kind of shady. Was I know Epstein was around in the 80s, but did Donald Trump know him in the 80s, right? Recently, Bill Gates, he came out talking and he admitted something. This is where I'm linking to this, people. This is where I'm going to link to this. He admitted something. He said he said he had dinners with Epstein, right? Dinners and stuff. That's all. He regrets it. The same thing like Melania talking. You know what he said? Because there's the conspiracy of him getting an STD from some prostitutes. You know what he came out with just like 2 months ago? He said yeah, I admit I slept with some girls, some escorts, right? He admitted it, Bill Gates. He admitted he slept with some escorts, two escorts, Russian escorts. He admitted it, right? But he probably done that more than one time. Bill Gates got big in the late 80s, and there was a financier smelling money, and that was Epstein, right? Or Grizzling. So, what it looks like, everybody wants to talk about just the underage people. I understand. You'll get them prosecuted with the children more. But, right? There's a but. She wasn't just doing they weren't just doing underage children. There was adults who was getting trafficked and well, they were prostitutes. So you notice you're not hearing about no older people talking. I'm not talking when they're children. You notice you're hearing about maybe somebody who's like a adult speaking out about this, right? They did not. It wasn't just children. That's why I have to put it through people's head. They were trafficking adults. So who were they trafficking? How were they trafficking? Melania right now is in the spotlight, and maybe it could be good, it could be bad for her because she wants to promote her book. She's on, I guess this is the beginning of her book tour. Anyone in the public eye with even a peripheral tie to Epstein or Maxwell should be working overtime. Their legal and communication teams right now definitely separate from them. He added, whoever this guy is, I don't want to read that guy. So when I see even more pictures, she looked angry yesterday. Like she was angry. After months of speculation regarding Melania Trump's alleged ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, the First Lady has finally addressed rumors. Yeah. She's 55 years old. She's 55 years old. Okay. 55-year-old gave a statement at the White House where she denied having connections to Epstein crimes. But they're going to bring her before Congress. That's what she wants. She was a victim. Maybe she was. Because 2000 she would have been, let me see, she would have been 30 though. Should have been 30, about 30, 31 or something like that. She's about 55 right now, right? Following this, Epstein survivor has publicly criticized both the timing of the First Lady's remarks and the suggestion that survivors testify before Congress. She has a point there, though. Like, what do you guys think? She's saying, like, this is what one of the survivors they didn't like. They said, like, that's kind of a fight. Like, she's saying they should testify before Congress. That's what Melania is saying. But one of the survivors saying no, right? So he's saying having connections. So following this, Epstein survivor has publicly criticized both the timing of the First Lady's remarks and her suggestion that survivors testify before Congress. So that is very, that's a fight still, people. People, please subscribe, bring up the likes if you can. Now, will people be held accountable? Will people be held accountable? Let's see. Marina Serena, one of Epstein's victims, took to her Instagram account and posted a video message condemning Melania for her speech and questioned the intent behind the later public statement. So this is the question. I don't know what's going on with the media or common sense, people. This is what I gotta tell you guys. If they were the victims, why didn't Jeffrey Epstein go to prison? Why are we finding out the majority of the victims after Jeffrey Epstein is passed away? Right? Because when you look up the case, and I can read it to you, it's crazy. He wasn't charged with 20 people. He made a deal with the government because he was a spy. He made a deal with the government 2005, very controversial, served 10 months or not even prison, some type of light work, came out, and then he continued for 12 years after. Really do your research, right? So these victims, no one's questioning them. Like, it's kind of weird, man. Like, as much as we talk about this Epstein files and this 30 million, well, I mean, 3 million, 2 million, all these files, all these characters, why now we're hearing about more victims? Why? Like, he went to prison, but it wasn't for a whole bunch of girls. But when we're hearing the stories reported, we're hearing about the victims, right? Because when you do read the story about Jeffrey Epstein, it said several girls, right, which accused him of doing things, right? And he wasn't charged for all of those things. These are the same Epstein victims what accused him but wasn't charged, and the American government, with I guess certain people, made a deal, and that's why Epstein didn't spend any time from 2005 really in prison and stuff like that, 2006 or whatever, right? So check this. When you look and do your research, it seems that you're paid off. That's why they say, oh, now we can't, show the victims. Of course you can't. They're underage. Those ones, what we know of, they're underage, right? But if they're underage, why was this guy released for 12 years after? Why was Epstein released 12 years? He didn't get locked up until 12 years or so after, or so, or 10 years. But now Melania, which she came out for a reason, I don't know, it's a combination with her husband of distraction to distract us all from either what they're doing right now and blah blah blah, because you've seen Iran make videos making fun of Trump, saying all of this war is to cover up the Epstein files. That's what's been pushing the algorithm, saying this war is to cover up and make people forget and not care about the dirty men that are in the files. So they're protecting dirty, nasty, filthy, scum of the earth men who like underage. Uh, they like children. They're protecting them. In England, the UK, ever since this came up, they made some. They're doing some more work. They are actually arrested what or apprehended or Prince Andrew, and I think they're going after some more people actually in the UK. They're not joking in the UK about this Epstein. Epstein wasn't just in America. That man was traveling all around the world. So meanwhile, we just think the victims are in America. No, the victims are in the Middle East. The victims could be even in Israel. The victims are everywhere. This man was doing all types of nastiness with children and some adults too, right? With children and adults, he was doing things with, right? And that's why he got, well, he didn't get charged for all of that. Melania is angry. She's angry, but this is going to promote her book, people. Do you got? I got to clarify this because everyone likes to talk about Epstein, right? But do they really tell you about who this man is? Do you guys really know about him besides them just saying he's a nasty man? Do you guys ever look into details what he used to do? Right? You know, he got this Trump is in the middle of this. You see, yeah, yeah, he's in the middle of it. Yep. It's sickening and disturbing and disgusting. Because really, okay, much respect to everybody in the chat. Let's put this together. It's okay, they got Epstein and they said he unalived himself. But all of his business was with wealthy, rich men, right? So those were his customers. So where are the customers? It's like I'm the dealer and you just you're going after me and let's leave all the other people who are buying from me alone. You get what I mean? So this guy was a hustler. Now, you know what his name goes down in history as? Jeffrey Epstein. He was a registered ex offender and served 13 months. It's 13 months, not 10 months. I'm sorry. In jail. Okay? Let me read the details because a lot of people don't get it right about Epstein. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This is Melania Trump. She's been, complaining about stuff, but I got to illustrate about this Epstein guy. Edward Epstein, January 20th, 1953, August 10th, 2019. That's when he died. An American financial and ex-offender, began his career as a math teacher at Dalton School before entering the banking and finance sector. Over several decades, he made much of his fortune providing tax estate services to billionaires. Those are the nasty men. A lot of those billionaires cultivated elite social circles and prominent individuals in 2000. Oh, I think, let me correct myself. Oh, it's not 2005. Was it? 2008. He was convicted of soliciting a minor for prostitution. So let me correct myself. Not 2005, but something was going on that time. They just caught him in 2008. He was convicted of soliciting a minor for prostitution and was indicted in 2019 for trafficking minors in the 2000s. So in the 2000s, he was still doing stuff, right? In the 2000s, he died in custody awaiting his trial. His death was ruled suicide, right? Okay, this is how it goes. I think I got it right. I got good memory. Check this out. Because she's coming and she's complaining, Melania, all you victims come forward in the Congress. Now, in 2005, police in Palm Beach, Florida. So that's when it started. This is where I got to make people know this is the main reason why a lot of shit is going on and it's connected to conspiracies that this guy's a spy. Now, let me read this. In 2005, police in Palm Beach, Florida began investigating Epstein after a parent reported that he had paid her 14-year-old stepdaughter to strip and massage him. Investigators identified the 36 girls, remember that, between the age of 14 to 17 with similar accounts of ex abuse. Prosecutors had concerns about taking him to trial, citing victim reluctance to testify and witness credibility. This influenced a now controversial plea deal negotiation under which Epstein pleaded guilty to state charges of procuring a minor for prostitution and soliciting a prostitute. He was registered as an ex offender and served 13 months in jail with work release. Following his conviction, victims pursued lawsuits, media scrutiny grew. A prominent 2018 Miami Herald profiled victim stories and argued that Epstein evaded justice under a lenient plea deal. This prompted federal investigators in New York to reinvestigate the additional charges, and Epstein was indicted in 2019 on charges of ex trafficking minors between 2002 and 2005. Epstein died in his jail cell on August 10th. His death was ruled blah, blah, blah. So, you see what I'm saying? 36 people made a plea deal. What is a plea deal with all the victims? What's the deal? Money, right? Money. They were victims, else they should have been charged with making false statements. Well, they are victims. No one's saying they ain't no victims. The whole point is that he didn't go to prison for them. He wasn't charged for them, right? He was only charged for, like I said, two charges. The government made a deal. Who made the deal? The question is, who made the deal? Let me say it again. The question is, who made the deal? If this was so bad and there's 36 girls, right, with similar accounts, right? 36. Why did this guy just get 13 months and work release? Why did he get 13 months and work release? That's what happened. He got 13 months and work release. So now, Melania, she knows about these stories. She reads about the victims. She said they must come to Congress, right? I was never a part of this, right? I don't know it, nothing about Epstein, but she knows about Ghislaine Maxwell. She had a relationship with her. That's all right, people, to have a relationship with the vice president. I was saying vice president, the president's, the president Donald Trump's wife. Trump. Let's see what he says. I want to see if he's going to talk about the Epstein files anymore. Do you think he's going to bring up the Epstein files? You haven't seen him even mention anything. Now his wife is the one who's talking. So was he behind her doing this? Did he support her coming out and talking? This is supposed to be clearing her name, and she talks about we just had emails. She didn't even say that. She didn't even say you had some type of email with Maxwell, right? Right now, Maxwell wants a deal from Trump. She's looking at a deal from Trump. So she says the only way she will talk, right, is if Trump clears her, pardons her. She wants a she wants a pardon. Do you think she should get a pardon? Right? You know she's in prison for, right? She's in prison for lying, a lot of perjury. I'm hearing majority of the charges. The reason she's locked up for 20 years is because of perjury. Because when they're asking her questions, she was lying and stuff. Yeah, 20 years, man, for perjury and probably something. Let's see, Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein. They claim that he's dead, right? They claim that he's dead. We shall see. A lot of people don't believe that. A lot of conspiracy theorists do not believe that one bit. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. So, Ghislaine Maxwell, right? She's interesting. She comes from a rich family, rich family, convicted in 2022 of child ex trafficking, sentenced 20 years in prison, born in France, raised in Oxford, England, right? Daddy's rich. Her and, let's see, Melania. Because I see some pictures with her and Melania, and it's interesting, man. They weren't talking and nothing. I find that that's a lie. That's a lie. They were talking, guaranteed. R. Kelly got more time than Jalen Maxwell. What's up with that? Mm, oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. He got more time than her. Shit. She had good lawyers, man. Probably it's the money. It has to be the money. You're right. Ma- R. Kelly got more time. Bless up, man. What I'm talking about is Melania Trump yesterday talking, right, about her and distancing herself from the Epstein files because she was brought up. Donald Trump was brought up a whole bunch of times. Some people don't believe that Donald Trump is not a part of this whole thing, right? Still two different scenarios. What's the two? Clarify it for me, Prince. Cash you out. Right now, to me, it's a distraction. Both things are working with each other as big distractions right now. Right? Huge distractions. War, Epstein. I was talking the other day. What happened to the Epstein files? What happened to the Epstein files? But when you dig, things are going on. Things are going on right now. They went to his mansion or one of his properties, estates, about a month ago. I don't know if it's fact, but he had a whole bunch of estates. This man was wealthy, or he had a lot of connections. So they're saying, rumor is that they went to his properties and they're digging and they're searching, and they believe there might be, bodies buried underground and stuff. That's the conspiracy. In terms of distractions, yes, you're right. Because as I'm telling people, when Melania came up to do that talk, it's funny. The news before that, you know what the news before that was, right? I'm going to tell you how the algorithm changes. It was Donald Trump ripping at Candace Owens and them, and they responded recently, right? Candace Owens is saying they better take this guy out of power because he's turning crazy. Like, he's crazy, basically. So Donald Trump went like nuclear before his wife done all of this talking. He was hit. He was talking about Alex Jones. He was talking about Candace Owens. He was talking about Tucker Carlson. He was calling people losers. A whole bunch of stuff, right? So his wife, what's the reason? You have to wonder. Yeah, it is a distraction. What is the main reason for her to come out now and tell people, oh, the Epstein stuff? You know why? She must be on the list. She must be next to be called up to testify, or Mr. Donald Trump, they want him up there. Donald Trump claims he would testify. Trump threatened to jail Jasmine Crockett. He threatened to jail everybody. Everybody. Oh yeah, is that the girl who spilled the tea about the military individual who was in Iran? They were looking for and they rescued, because that's what he's saying. He wants to imprison that journalist who spilled some tea. He would like her to go to prison. He wants an example. He already went after Don Lemon. Don't forget, he went after Don Lemon, right? And Don Lemon got locked up, right? He's still fighting that case. Melania, she's been out of public spotlight for a while, and now she's back in the spotlight. I will actually want. I'm wondering what's in that book. What's in that book she's gonna write about? Donald Trump probably looking through that book or his people to see what is she talking about. She can't talk about nothing about him. What's negative? Not anything. Not a fight. Not nothing. So guarantee it's not her last book. But let me see what you guys hear what Trump said yesterday. That's why his wife is coming out about the same time talking. So it's both things, right? It's a nasty, nasty mix of confusion, right now, and distraction, because as much as that story's coming out, there's more stories coming out, and they're doing a lot of ish more in Iran now. They're really setting up. This is the last stages of what's to come. Remember, he gave them 2 weeks, and Donald Trump is saying they are. Other people saying they ain't listening. The strat is closed. So Melania, she's doing her work for Trump. She's doing her PR right now. This whole thing, it's working because everybody is gonna want to. They want to know more about the Epstein files. Most Americans rather hear about the Epstein files more than any damn war. Let me tell you that now. Most people in the world rather hear about what's going on with the Epstein files more than all the damn war what's going on. So now the war, Donald Trump saying, damn, it's kind of weak. All that cursing I was doing, all that stuff I was doing, it was working for a while, but it's not working anymore. He's probably saying, damn, yo, Vance, it's not working anymore. Okay, Vance, go to Pakistan, talk to Iran, talk to those guys. I will stop threatening. I will stop going on the podiums and saying that I'll take them out their whole civilization. I will get my wife to start talking about the Epstein files. I'll make her talk about it, even though it's kind of, risky, but I'm going to make her talk about these Epstein stuff. And you go over to wherever to do that meeting, and that will help, take some of the pressure off. They won't have to, what do they want to do to him? They want to impeach. They will stop the impeach talk. Just throw this whole Epstein thing up again. Oh, make your wife do something. She's a good talker. Make her talk. It's working. It's working, people. Right? The one that don't take no shit is who she is. Yes, she's angry, but sometimes your anger could, expose certain things. And I think this is the case that people are now feeding off that email stuff. It's like, question, why do you have an email? Oh, because we are friendly. You had an email. Like, I know emails was been around a long time ago, but I know 2000. You're with a billionaire. You had the top cell phone 100%. All the people who on that level, they had cell phones, the best ones 100%. You didn't need to do any damn email to talk to Grizzlane. Come on now. Come on now. They're going to call it to Congress. She's trying to say victims should go to the Congress and speak about it because there's a lot of people who should be, questioned. Melania Trump's email to Ghislaine Maxwell reemerges after statement. Whew, interesting. So that emerges. An email that Melania Trump reported sent to Ghislaine Maxwell 2002 has reemerged after the First Lady denied having a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Trump's correspondent to Maxwell, the imprisoned accomplice of Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted ex offender who died. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Melania Trump has not been accused of any wrongdoing in connection with the Epstein investigation. So why come out and even talk about it? Even if just let them talk. This makes you look guilty. And I broke it down. Good friends with Maxwell, it seemed, and Maxwell was into the woman, trafficking and prostitution, and not just children. I'm telling you, it was older people. So it's interesting what's coming out, people. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. It's the Down to Earth Network with your host, Sean Myrie. The context: the email dated 2002 with the sender's and recipient's name redacted was released by the Justice Department as part of Epstein files this year. It said, Dear G, that's Grizzling, right? Ended. Love Melania. The email read in part, I know you are very busy flying all over the world. How was Palm Beach? I cannot wait to go down. Give me a call when you're back in NY. Ah, holy, check that out, man. And she's not friends or knows nothing about Epstein? Yo, people think people are stupid. In what, 2026? Did you read this? Let me read it again for you, because that's why she came out, because issues hitting the fan. An email dated 2002 with the sender's and recipient's name redacted was released by the Justice Department as part of the Epstein files this year. It said, Dear G, and ended, Love Melania. The email read in part, I know you are very busy flying all over the world. That sounds like a friend, kind of. How was Palm Beach? She's asking about Palm Beach, their other home. I cannot wait to go down. Give me a call when you're back in NY. Okay, and she's going on like, shit. Maxwell's man is Jeffrey Epstein, so you don't know anything? Okay, Maxwell allegedly responded, Sweet Pea, Thanks for your message. Actually, plans changed again. I am now on my way back to NY. I'll leave again on Friday, so I still do not think I have time to see you, sadly. I will try to call though. No relationship. They never had any relationship. Why are you lying? Holy. Just because your husband thinks a lot of Americans are stupid, don't listen to him. And the world. No one's stupid to believe. Come on, that you don't have no type of further, you don't know Epstein. During her statement delivered at the White House, Trump referenced these emails. Oh, Trump did. Okay. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note. That's not private. That's basically saying, hey, we me- you can't meet up this time. Oh, are you in New York? That's like asking. I'm calling on the phone to my friend. Yo, are you gonna be around in the evening so we could watch some basketball? No, I'm gonna be leaving out. I'm going to whatever so and so. But when I come back, we'll link up. That's no different. You were friends with Ghislaine. Stop the damn lying. Stop the lying. Maybe not for a long time, but you're friendly with her. Another post from an account called, okay, man, I didn't read that shit. But yeah, stop the lying, man. I swear, people could see through the lies more with the social media now. People get caught up. They think technology they could hide, but you actually could see it. See more easier. Do research. I'm a person who does research. Before I talk, I actually do research and have knowledge from a long time ago, right? And I compare things. I do my little investigations, right? So she is scared, Melania, that she's gonna get investigation in the Congress. That Congress is gonna call her and make her sit her ass down for hours like Hillary Clinton. Prove it. You got nothing but nothing about opinions. I just read you this stuff. Most of a lot of the stuff I've been telling you is documented. I'm not making nothing up. You need to go read and look up Epstein. Read and look up what she's been saying. 100%. A lot of the stuff. That's why I got it right in front of me, the screen. What she said, every word what she said, and their connections. Yes, I do my research from a long time ago. First of all, I knew about Trump over 30 years. Over 30 years before he became any public figure to most people. I knew about Trump over 30 years, that guy. All this stuff is no surprise. I know other stories about Trump, what people are not even talking about right now. Stories, what he's been involved with other business associates from back in the day, and his relationships with certain people don't even know about. You're lost. Yeah, he's lost. He doesn't know, man. Come on, he doesn't know. What I just was giving you guys is facts. I'm not like one of those guys who just come on and say any shit, and I will take info from the people who are around. You believe her? Oh, so you are a Trump supporter. You know what? I'll give you a pass. You believe her. You believe Melania that she never had any knowing about Epstein? Nah, I don't believe that. You read those emails, unless those emails are fake, she had obviously a good relationship with a Ghislaine. That doesn't make it better. Ghislaine she was doing the same thing. It doesn't make it any better, even if it wasn't Epstein. She, if not, was worse. So what are you saying? Right? You're having emotional breakdown. Yeah, you're right. He is. He is. You gotta know. You gotta have the knowledge. You gotta have the knowledge, right? Do the research. Do the research. I do my research. You know what it is? Straight up, a lot of people don't like to read. I'll be honest. A lot of people, they rather, yeah, you could be on your phone and stuff, but actually, when you go read stuff like, documents, legal documents, the stuff is completely different. Because, for example, on social media, they'll make you believe, for example, Epstein got charged with like 20 girls or 30 girls. He went to prison charged for a whole bunch of ladies or girls. No, it was, I already read to you. It wasn't like that, right? And the government made deals with Epstein. And Melania was friendly. They're showing now, this is going viral, friendly with Maxwell. Yeah, friendly. Yeah. So do research. I encourage everybody who taps in what I'm saying. Go do your research and then come back to me. Go do the research and come back to me, or you won't come back to me. You know why you won't come back? Because you'll see that I'm right 100%. Right? So, Melania, she was a model she'd been a model for years and years and years. She met Donald Trump about when she was like 30, 31, right? And around that time is when Donald Trump was still friends with Epstein, right? She told people yesterday that she's been around when Epstein, like with Donald Trump at parties. She's seen Epstein several times going to parties with her husband. She admitted it. She did not lie. She said she's been to a lot of parties. Have Donald Trump told you guys about that? No. But she came out recently and said she's been at parties and she was friendly with Grizzly, right? Melania was being politically polite, not a friend or of hers. Yes, yes, yes. Accused of what? She's talking. She's the one talking, right? What your name? Mela Gillaham. She's the one talking, and all of her talk has got her in some hot water now because they're looking at the email. The email I just read to you. They had a relationship. People who talk like that know have a relationship. Oh, where are you going? Want to know when she's coming back and all that stuff? They have some type of relationship. When people do research, they don't need evidence. Yes, you're right. You're right. Especially if you research over the years, too. Especially if you research over the years. What I know right now is she's just giving more fuel to the fire by talking about coming forward and no one asked her to. No one asked Melania to come forward unless it's Donald Trump. No one told her to, hey, come out and speak about this. No one forced her, but they will force her, or maybe she's trying to be ahead of the party. They will force her to go to Congress because this is what she put. She said the victims should go to Congress and speak their mind because the Congress is going to come to her like they went to Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. Yeah, because she used to go to those parties. Yeah, and they want to ask her certain questions. And she maybe is scared of them asking her certain questions. I heard when she was doing the speech, it was long, right? Supermodel back in BC, yes. Hate to tell you, blah, blah, blah. It's require evidence. Well, who's going to charge her? What's the evidence, though? What's the evidence? She's not getting charged. What are you talking about? She's not getting charged. All they're doing is digging up to see if anybody knew what Epstein was doing. Who said she's getting charged? They just want to ask her what kind of relationship she had. And she's the one showing her cards by coming out and speaking. No one forced her to go to talk. No one forced her to talk. No one accused her of anything. But when you come out talking and no one's accusing you, that's some guilt. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. That's some guilt. No one has came and said they're gonna be. She must talk about this. The only one who could have that influence is Donald Trump. That's what my point. The only one who has the influence to make her speak is Donald Trump. She had to have that okay by him to talk from the White House about the Epstein stuff. And in regards, they're trying to really go after him. It's not her. No one said it was her. You don't make no sense. You have no knowledge. You are a dummy. And you get timed out. I'm going to have a new section called for the dummies. Yeah, Prince cash you out. That person doesn't have no knowledge. Go read, do some research. Damn, this is show you an example. You embarrass yourself. what Mela, whatever your name is, you embarrass yourself coming on here because you look like a dummy. People, please subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It's the Down to Earth Network. Some people do research. I encourage you, all the people in the chat, do research. I'm not like all these other guys who knows it all, but I know a lot, right? So what I know is Melania is just covering herself and Donald Trump. That's what it is. This is just a distraction, right? They're saying, let's start talking about Epstein stuff because it is bubbling. Like I said, there's the girl who's hitting again the so-called victim, saying that Donald Trump abused her in the 80s. Probably an older lady now. Donald Trump abused her when she was she was young in the 80s. But that story in defense for Donald Trump, right? In defense for Donald Trump, did Donald Trump know Epstein then? Did he? Did he know Epstein? And it's not just Epstein. There's a whole bunch of other Epsteins. That's another thing. There's a whole bunch of Epsteins. Epstein's just one of many. Imagine the ones you don't know. And now they're even covering themselves. Now they're even covering themselves up more because of Epstein. An example. They don't want that. Her guilty ass made the wrong move. Yeah, Prince Cash you out. She made the wrong move. 100%. People, bring up the likes if you can. Support the platform. It's the Down to Earth Network with your host Sean Myrie. So, what's next? You know what's next? They're analyzing the emails. Right now, they're analyzing these emails. Which, how could you just admit that you are friends with her, are friendly with her? Just say you were friendly with her. You guys had meetings and shit like that. You guys went over each other's house and drank cocktails and wine and eating biscuits and shit like that. Just admit that. They were best friends for nearly 2 decades. Well, she never to be fair, 2 decades you're saying? Best friends. To be fair, if you're talking about Donald Trump, maybe. Donald Trump and what's his name? Epstein. But Melania, she wasn't around that long. She wasn't a lot because remember Donald had the other wives before. She knew her through Donald Trump. She said that. I'll agree, admit that she met Epstein or Grizzlane through Donald Trump circles. She wasn't around then. But Donald Trump probably has a relationship with Epstein. I'm guessing from, let's see, possibly. Just say, because this man was big, making money a long time. So just say maybe 86. From 86 to 2000, 15 years or so. Just say something like that. They had a relationship that long. So he claims he broke it. Donald Trump has a story about this whole thing, right? In regards now with his wife. He has a story. He's saying 2005, he called basically the law enforcement on Epstein, saying something was wrong over, what Epstein, one of his estates are, he witnessed something. That got shoved under the carpet. No one's talking about that. Donald Trump came out and basically said that he knew something wrong was going on with Epstein, so he reported him. 2005, right? Sin, 2 decades, yeah. Probably, maybe you would say Donald Trump and Epstein, but what's her name? Melania. He met her probably in the maybe the late 90s or stuff. Late 90s, 98, I think. Yeah, he met her in 98 and stuff. So he's been with her for over, let's see, a while now, almost 28 years. But Epstein, he claims he broke off the relationship with Epstein 2000. Wait, was it 2000 or 2002? Something around that, the early 2000s. No one knew who Epstein was those times until recently. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. It's the Down to Earth Network with your host, Sean Myrie, and we're talking about Melania Trump and the Epstein files. Now, Just say this could be the conspiracy scenario. Just say her and Grizzlane were in the business of trafficking models or people who look like models, using a model agency to recruit young girls. That's what might come up. That her and Grizzlane was using a modeling agency, and with her image and her connections, was using that to attract young girls and to billionaires. That's what the conspiracy theorists will bring up. All right? That Melania was part of some type of trafficking ring with Grizzly. That's what they're going to come up with. Right? People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What do you guys think about that conspiracy? Because that is the main conspiracy a lot of people are going to cook up. That Melania was working with Grizzlane to get young girls and have them be prostitutes similar to Puffy, flying them out, maybe not in America, but flying them out to, like, the Saudi Arabia or the Dubai's and places where they could get away with certain stuff. Haven't you heard recently, in the last couple of years, girls go into, I think, Dubai and getting defecated on, and getting paid like thousands of dollars for these men to defecate in their face, in their mouth, on their clothes and stuff like that. So we only know of this because of social media. But before social media, this was going on probably. Before social media got big. So is it possible like Grizzlane and Melania was, supplying these type of services? Because, they could go under the radar being a female, you could go under the radar more. I would say 1979 forward. You think Trump knew what's his name there? Epstein that long? Think that long? I think Epstein started to get big in the early 80s, but he was still new. I think Epstein really got big with his money like 85 or mid 80s. That's when yeah, mid 80s. That's when he really started to make the real money. She looks really good for her age. You know what? I'll give her that. Melania, for her age, 55, got to give her that, but she got the money, right? And she changed herself completely though. She that whatever plastic surgery or whatever she done, it's pretty good so far. But because when you see her her pictures from when she met Donald Trump, it looks like a different woman. Looks like a complete different woman. When she first met Donald Trump, completely different woman. But the first lady has spoken. You haven't seen her speak in a long time, right? Haven't seen her speak in a long time. The main thing she wants people to know, she is distancing herself from the whole Epstein stuff, that she doesn't know Epstein, nothing connecting to her with that the media has been smearing her name and putting Epstein in. Do you think it had to be Epstein to smear her name? Before this whole Epstein saga came up, guess what? Why people are talking about you bad? Because of your husband. That's what it was. It was because of your husband. People didn't just talk about maybe you in certain ways because of just the Epstein stuff. It's your husband. Forever they've been talking from the first term, if not before that. Man, people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This is the Down to Earth Network, Down to Earth Podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, all podcast platforms, people. But right now, I guarantee I could tell it's going viral. It is definitely going viral with what this email is about. I read it to you guys. I don't know if you want me to read this. Trump correspondence Maxwell imprisoned accomplice Jeffrey. Okay, what is saying? Melania Trump has been accused. She hasn't been accused of any wrongdoing. Of course, we know that. Uh, um, email is 2002, so that would be 20, a good amount of years ago, a long time ago. That would be 24 years ago. 24 years ago email. and they had cell phones to contact each other. So when you see an email, that's business, people. When you see an email, much respect, OG Kicks. When you see an email, that is business, people. No doubt. And how they're talking. An email dated 2002 with the sender's and recipient's name redacted was released by the Justice Department as part of Epstein files this year. It said, "Dear G," I gotta read it again. Brazilian, and ended Love Melania. The email read in part, "I know you are very busy flying all over the world. How was Palm Beach? I cannot wait to go down. Give me a call when you're back in NY." That sounds friendly, man. That sounds like friends. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. If that don't sound like friends, I don't know what is. Not friend. What is it? Call me back when you're back in the NY? And you don't know what her business is? I know you're busy flying all over the world. What are you doing? If you're her friend or you know of her, what do you think she's doing flying all over the world? You know she's busy flying over the world prostituting children? What is she flying over the world doing? You know she's busy flying over the world, all over the world. What? Prostituting children and adults. 100%. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. It's the Down to Earth Network, right? How long will the lies continue? Good question, OG Kicks. How long will the lies continue? Probably until Donald Trump passes away, and then she might come forward with certain things. How lies will it? She's friends. This is what's bad. Even Hillary Clinton with her lies too. Oh, uh, Grizzling was at your daughter's wedding, but you don't. You never talk. You never talked to Grizzling. You never had no relationships. And then she changes up her mouth too, and you could clearly see some communication with her and Maxwell. I'm talking about Hillary Clinton. So she lied too, right? Former First Lady and present First Lady lying that they never had no relationship at all with Grizzly, right? Melania's sweet pea in the files. Yeah, I heard that one. I seen that one. You could read it, what they're saying. Oh, sweet pea. You're seeing it. So it says, during her statement delivered at the White House, Trump referenced these emails. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount of anything more than a trivial note, Trump said during her Thursday statement. So it says another post, okay, blah, blah, blah. Either way, this is a distraction. 100%, it is a distraction, people. It is a distraction, and we shall see. It shall continue the madness in America with this administration. And meanwhile, everybody wants to know more about the Epstein files. The interest is actually coming back to it. Um, there's a lot of other things going on, overseas where they want it to kind of, this is working in their favor for the military and Trump. But people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This is the Down to Earth Network. So I believe there's more stuff. I just broke it down, my conspiracy, and I believe the only connection that Melania or Grizzlane or Maxwell would have interest in Melania is that she was a model. And models know a lot of other models, and a lot of wealthy people go to these events where models are. So it kind of, conserves that culture of a society where Grizzlane makes money, right? So it's not just underage children, it's even adults. They probably were prostituting adults, trafficking adults the same way. They're rich and famous, man. They could do whatever. Oh, well, not famous, but they're filthy rich. And now they're famous, both of them, Epstein and Grizzly, right? So believe what you want, but it's controversial, and it's not gonna end, and I guarantee it's Friday night coming. Everybody's gonna be talking about it. We're probably gonna hear about it coming Saturday and Sunday. We're gonna hear about this until the ceasefire is over. It's gonna be getting more stronger. It's like she's the sacrificial lamb, his wife right now, Donald Trump. So we shall see if this guy rescues his wife, if he's gonna defend his wife, because people are gonna dissect this entire email stuff. What is going on in social media? It's going on everywhere, people. Yeah, it doesn't look good. I should see some updates of really what's going on. So, ah, Trump up. I gotta look up Trump's updates because Trump, that's his wife. Remember that. Trump updates. Gotta look up this man. He's always a character. Doing this is the husband of oh, his wife pops up soon as I put that. Oh, Melania Trump calls out smears and lies linking her to Jeffrey Epstein. What's the lies though? Because I have to be honest. What is the lies? It says the blue tsunami is on the way. Then we'll know. Yo, Melania's speech propels Epstein crisis back to the forefront. That makes sense. That's BBC. Jimmy Kimmel speculates about the Melania Trump's address on Epstein. That's 5 minutes ago. Jimmy Kimmel. Who cares about Jimmy Kimmel? But he's influential. He's one guy I'm surprised. Yeah, Trump did call him out too, right? Trump called him out. So it says Jimmy Kimmel speculates Melania Trump. Let's see how long this is. Oh, this is a minute. Hold on. You want to hear her talk? You guys want to hear her talk? Let's see if I can get this. Let's hear her talk. Let's hear her talk. This is funny. Let me hear again. Disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein. Mm-hmm. She's never been friends with Epstein, but you weren't friends with his girlfriend? Donald and I been invited to parties from time to time. Mm. In Palm Beach. Oh, because circles overlap in New York and Palm Beach. In New York and Palm Beach. What a bum. What a liar. That's where they're going to get her. She never had no relationship with the accomplice, Maxwell. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein likely the first met in the late 80s. You're right. Yes. Yes, you're right, Richard Crosby. About 87. It makes sense because there was a meeting there was another story with, what's his name? The billionaire, the other billionaire, Gates, Bill Gates. Bill Gates was the richest billionaire he got rich off of Microsoft. And I think Epstein met him those times too, right? So you're right. 1987. So before basically the 90s started, kind of makes sense now. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So they knew each other, just say, before he says he cut him off 13 or so years, right? That's what he's saying. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. So let me hear what did she say. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. That's what she was saying. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump, but maybe his girlfriend did. She met her husband by chance in a New York City party in 1998. I don't think it was smart for her to talk, yo, because that's how they scout these women. These billionaires go to these parties and they bring these women there You were a young model with all these old ass guy, filthy men or whatever, rich men, and you met him just there, just like that.
I have never had any knowledge of Epstein abuse of his victims. I was never involved in any capacity. I was not a participant, was never on Epstein's plane, and never visited his private island.
Oh, Lee, this is not good, yo. This is even worse. This is worse for her, man. This is a lot. This is a big. You know what? Donald Trump and his wife, they just lost, man. They lost a lot. In the last, this is not good. Even if they want to use it for a distraction, this is bad. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes, support the platform. This is bad, bad. She shouldn't even talk. They're talking about stuff Iran was saying. Yeah, right now this is a cover. This is a filter right now. This story is a filter, and I can tell you how the algorithm works, people. After I'm done with this live, this show is a filter. If I was to talk about the war more, that's why I mixed it up. I'm not saying I ain't gonna get the algorithm. Would it get the algorithm? I'm not gonna expose. I'm not gonna say certain things, but I've seen certain things. Now this is the algorithm. Thanks for everybody in the chat supporting the platform. This is the algorithm because you guys gave me a good algorithm just today for this episode. I'll tell you that. The more she talks, the worse it gets. Yes. The more she talks, the worse it gets. Her talking, not just like, it's not her accent, but what I'm reading is, why are you even talking? Because it just makes you look more guilty. You don't have to talk. No one accused you of it. This is like she heard, oh, Congress might call me to speak, so I'm going to make sure I talk before Congress drags me to speak for 5 hours. I'm going to make sure, excuse me, I'm going to make sure I speak before they call me to speak. It's like she's saying, I already spoke already. You don't need to bring me to Congress. I told you guys that I'm not involved. Is that going to stop Congress from questioning you? Probably is Donald Trump what told her to do this. Because if they question her for hours, they're going to question her about her husband. Let me say it again. If they question her for hours, they're going to question her about her husband, and maybe she might, not be trained too good to cover up any type of lies. And that's why she only talked for 5 minutes yesterday. That's why she only spoke short period of time. So people want to ask, what was this for? Why? Yeah, why? No one accused her of doing any wrongdoing, but she's coming out, right? She's used to getting her way. All those people are. Yep, you're right, friend zone. She's used to it. So, but what, like, coming? Why you don't need to talk? No one was talking about her before she came out. Is it Tucker Carlson? Is it Candace Owens? Is it something these guys been saying in the last 2 weeks regarding Trump's wife? I don't know. I would have to do my research more and look, because um, Trump was going after them too yesterday. He was like cursing them out or whatever. He was saying all types of stuff about Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones, and calling them bums and losers and stuff. So the only reason I'm thinking she's talking is because these guys been doing a campaign on her. And Donald Trump said, hey, babe, you got to go out there, speak your mind, tell these people you're not involved in any Epstein stuff, tell them how it is. And then she said, okay, I'm going to go talk. I'll do it, right? Because you told me to. It's Donald Trump. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. It's the Down to Earth Network. Everybody that's been to that island knows what really happened. She said she has never been to the island. She's never been to the island. She has no association to the island. Nothing. That's what she spilled out recently. She's never been to the island, people. Maybe she hasn't been to the island, but she does have some relationship with Maxwell. 100%, she does have some type of relationship with Maxwell. You can't deny that. She has a relationship. It shows it in the email. That email is going viral right now. That's the biggest thing what's going viral right now, people. Right now, I could tell you from this day, Friday, right? Friday the 10th, that the war, what's going on, is going to take a back seat for a little bit. Yeah, you're not going to hear any major American stuff going on for a little bit. It's taking a back seat to this. And then there's going to be another Epstein situation that gets digged up too. Remember, I told you guys this. There's going to be a other Epstein situation that gets digged up. Meanwhile, this is going on. She's opening the Pandora's box. Yep, especially because they didn't have a translator to understand what she's saying. Yeah, like when like I could understand her. I could understand what she's saying, but you know, I, you could sometimes listen to people like the vibe. Like if they're lying, some people have that gift. I have that gift, and when I'm hearing her talk and she's reading, you could clearly see her eyes reading either what she's saying or what Trump kind of told her to say. Right? She's reading it, and she's angry and stuff like that. But I don't believe her. I don't believe her. And why? Why now? Why in the White House? Why now? That's the big question. Why? Why is she talking? Sickening. Okay, let me knock you out. You are a Trump supporter, right? When you come in here, I have the super chat. You could insult me, but at least pay for that shit. If you want to try to insult, it won't go through people. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. And now, what is the big news is Miss Trump in the spotlight. Jimmy Kimmel, let's see what he's saying. Host has beef with the President Trump. Yeah, he's a comedian. He's a target. Jimmy Kimmel is offering his take on Melania Trump unexpectedly addressed ties to Jeffrey Epstein on Thursday, April 9th. During this monologue on Jimmy Kimmel Live, the comedian questioned the timing of the First Lady's press conference, which came days after President Trump announced a ceasefire. You see what I said? Between Iran and the United States. He spent the past 6 weeks trying to bomb Epstein's story out of the headlines. Yes. 2 weeks after the ceasefire, she puts it right back on top, Kimmel said. She must really hate him. I don't know what else to explain, he added. I think they're going to be divorced, man. They're not going to be together after his presidency. People, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes. Thanks, OG. We're about to get cussed out. Cussed out by who? By who? Much respect, Prince Cashew out and OG Kicks. Good supporters of the network, man. Much respect. Um, I wanted to see Dave. What's his name? This guy who comes on here too would be interesting with both of you guys on here. What he's disappeared. Chef Chevy TV. Much respect to you. He's a big Trump supporter and lover, man. No more trolling for him. People, please subscribe. Bring up the likes if you can. Support the platform, man. So it says what he says. Okay. Kimmel, a known critic of the president, has criticized Trump handling of the war in Iran. The late night host earlier this week slammed Trump's threat to kill Iran's whole civilization. During the news conference April 9th, Melania Trump denounced what she called lies and false smears about her ties to Epstein, adding that she was not friends with the convicted ex-offender, did not know about his crimes. You didn't know about his crimes? You didn't know about his crimes. Stop the lying. The preacher from the 700 Club spoke negatively. Okay, let me see what you're saying. Okay, friend zone millionaire. The preacher from the 700 Club spoke negatively about Michelle Obama wearing shorts to the Grand Canyon, but Melania Trump scantily clothes was beautiful. It's their whole mindset. I agree what you're saying, friend zone millionaire. I agree. I agree. And they've been on a witch hunt for Michelle Obama, calling her a man and all type of stuff. There's beef. Trump wants to arrest Obama still. He still wants Obama's head, right? He still wants Obama's head, Trump. But yeah, Melania, don't dig up any more stuff about you. If it's true, you had nothing to do with it. Okay. Oh well. It took you this long when people been talking about you. This long to talk. This is important. It took you this long to speak. Is this the reason Pam Bondi lost her job, or they claim she lost her job? Is that true? Even true? I could look that up because they've been saying that she lost her job, but I don't think so. That could just be fake news. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Melania. What is going on? Joe Bondi is American. So did she lose her job? I want to know. Bondi is sworn in. Pam Bondi sworn in the U.S. attorney. Okay, let's see some Pam Bondi now. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. So he's saying most likely blackmailing rich people. Yeah, yeah. So she looks great with her mouth closed. Pam Bondi is now trying to duck out of testifying about Epstein. Oh, this is new news to me. I didn't know this. Ah, the plot thickens, people. This is why Melania is talking right now. I hope Donald Trump didn't fire this lady. Pam Bondi is now trying to duck out of testifying about Epstein. It's not too long ago. Wednesday. See how other stories bury stuff? Pam Bondi is backing out of the scheduled deposition before the House Oversight Committee, which has been seeking to grill the now former attorney. Oh, so she is the former attorney general. I'm putting pieces to the puzzle, people. So they're forcing this one. That's why, man, are they smart? Man, they're not that smart, man. That's why Melania is coming forward because she doesn't want this same smoke. The Oversight Committee, chaired by Rep. James Corner, R. whatever, said in a statement that the Department of Justice has stated Pam Bondi, oh, okay, so they're on her, they're helping her, will not appear on April 14th for a deposition since she is no longer. Hold on a minute, man. Since she is no longer the Attorney General and was subpoenaed in her capacity as the General. So you see what they done. I'm hitting this out. I gotta hit this out, man. I'm still here. This is important shit, man. See, even people like me, they don't like. Trump, that rumor of the firing, the only reason he done that is not a bad thing, is because then she doesn't have to testify, Pam Bondi. She only could testify as the attorney general. So since they fired her or made up the firing, she doesn't have to testify. Let me read that. The Oversight Committee chair, rep, whatever, said in a statement that the Department of Justice has stated Pam Bondi will not appear on April 14th for a deposition since she is no longer the Attorney General and was subpoenaed in her capacity as Attorney General. The committee further indicated that it would contact Pam Bondi personal counsel, that means lawyer, to discuss next step regarding scheduling her deposition. That doesn't make no sense. So they can't bring her to court now. They have to bring her to court later, like redo it again. The committee, okay, so President Donald Trump announced last week he had removed Bondi from her position. Works out perfectly, doesn't it? Remove her from the position. Right? Donald Trump announced last week he removed Pam Bondi from her position. Had Bondi the brunt of the fallout over the have borne the brunt of the fallout over the administration's bungled attempts to keep large swaths of evidence related to convicted ex-offender Epstein out of the public eye. Holy, this makes so much sense with his wife now. It's so clear now with his wife. Now, because that's why she's bringing up, oh, make the victims um, go to the court and talk. Melania saying that, make the victims go to the court and speak. Right? Pam Bondi lost her position. I knew that was suspect. She lost her position so it could protect her from basically or slow it down from her talking about the Epstein stuff, or they're gonna grill her. She's not good getting grilled. She falls all apart. She falls apart. In a letter to the committee obtained by CNN, Assistant Attorney General Patrick D. Davis wrote that Bondi no longer holds the office. As a result, because Ms. Bondi no longer can testify in her official capacity as Attorney General, the department's position is that the subpoena is no longer obligates her to appear on April 14th. We kindly ask that you confirm that the subpoena is withdrawn. Oh God, man. Or Sabono. Oh God. Man, this is bad. I didn't like reading this anymore because it just show you the nastiness and the corrupt. If that's not corruption, I don't know what is. If that's not corruption, I don't know what is. He's so envious of Obama until he hates. They have to subpoena her in the name, not in the position. Oh, so that just gives her more time with her lawyer, man. That just gives her more time with her lawyer. The arrangement syndrome, yeah, that just gives her more time with her lawyer, people. So you see what it is? That's just guilt. All of a sudden, guilt. That's why Melania is coming out because she doesn't want to have to face the same thing. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. That's why Melania is coming out because she doesn't want to have to face the same thing. It makes sense. It makes sense. Pam Bondi doesn't have to do anything April 14th. So her stuff is delayed. She's delayed. So they're going to have to go on to the other person. And the next person is Donald Trump's wife. That's why she's speaking and saying she's not a part of anything with the Epstein. Now it's getting hot. Now is Kash Patel still the FBI director? And where's Pam Bondi? Do you think she's fully out of the picture? Right? I think that's just temporary. They set that whole thing up. Excuse me. That's all set up. It's all set up, people. It's all set up. I've been telling people this for months, right? So there it is. It shows you this. How much people know about this? This is just Wednesday. She no longer has that position. So because she no longer holds the position, they can't subpoena, they can't bring her to court. She can't testify, not as that position. So they're gonna have to send something out to her, and her counsel will be the defense. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Pam Bondi backing out of scheduled deposition before the House Oversight Committee, which has been seeking to grill the now former Attorney General about Justice Department's mishandling of the Epstein files. The Oversight Committee, chaired by Rep. James. Okay, so what else is there I didn't read? Given Bondi's most recent meltdown, there's no surprise that both Republicans and Democrats are calling on her to testify regarding her change of employment status in the joint letter to the chairman, Comer, Reps, Roy Kahn, and Nancy Mace, or whatever, blah, 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 blah. The removal of Pam Bondi as Attorney General does not diminish the committee's legitimate oversight interest in seeking her sworn testimony or the need for accountability or information about files withheld from the public by the DOJ. On the contrary, it makes her sworn testimony even more important, especially with the respect to action she took as Attorney General, matters already under investigation, and decisions made under her leadership. Who will she throw under the bus? Who will she throw under the bus, people? We shall see. People, please like, comment, all that good stuff. Who will she throw under the bus? I'm waiting. What do you guys think? Because she can't take pressure. I seen her in action. She breaks up easily. So Melania is covering her ass because I think maybe in the list Donald Trump knows and probably warned her and said, "Hey, hey, honey, you know they're gonna come asking you. So you know what? I'm gonna make you use the White House podium, speak your mind, and clarify that you're not part of this because they wanted Pam Bondi to go testify April 14th, and it's not happening, people. It's not happening because she got fired, as they put it. Let me go get it. So what's going on? What's going on, people? What's going on in the chat? You guys up to date with what's going on with Melania and the Epstein files? You guys believe that she's not a part of this whole Epstein situation? Let me know. Do you guys believe that she's innocent and doesn't know anything? I don't. I don't know. Do you guys believe that? I just broke it down, man. Like, there's so much evidence that she was friends with Grizzling, right? Who thought she wasn't in them? She's saying it. She's saying she's not involved in anything. She's saying that she's not involved in anything. She wasn't involved with no Epstein stuff. She just went to parties because her husband and her were in the same social circles, and that's her explanation. Because people in New York and Palm Beach, when they're in, I guess rich people, they all are in the same social circles. That's what her explanation is. That they're all in the same social circles. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of that? What she said, that they're all in the same social circles. That's how she covers it up. But the email says differently, that she was more intimate, if you want to call it, with Maxwell. No one just has someone's email. It has to be given. And why? It's either business. Okay, so what was that email about? That's what they're gonna cook her. That's what they're gonna cook Miss Trump about. So why did you have her email? Why are you guys communicating like that? Because most likely emails are for business. Like I said, you could have a cell phone back in 2000s. There were cell phones; they existed, and you're a rich, filthy rich person. You could afford to speak. You could talk on a phone. You don't need no email. So, the email what I read, you are friends with this lady. You are good friends with her, right? I don't know how long, but you are good friends with her. And now the ish is hitting the fan. That's what it seems like. Seems like the ish is hitting the fan, and people are running scared right now because it's not going away. Right? There's 2 million, 3 million files, 3 million files, and the majority of them you don't know anything about. I love your clarity. What does it raise? Wake up, people. Much respect. Much respect. Much respect. Um, the funny thing, Mr. Trump, I knew as even years ago. I'm talking when I was in high school. I knew about this guy. He was worshipped in, like, if you are a person who listened to hip hop, a lot of the rappers used to reference Donald Trump and say, "Damn, this guy's he's always referenced, man. This guy's he was like a hero to many people." That's why I said he got the black vote. He did get a lot of the black vote. A lot of these people want to be quiet. Some of them are proud, MAGA people like Kanye West, but like I'm saying, I knew about this guy a long time, ages ago. Ages. I grew up seeing him as a celebrity. This guy in movies, this guy in wrestling, this guy all the way up until adult. He had reality shows. This man hosting stuff on award shows. He's in boxing. Now you see him in UFC. So Donald Trump's one of the most biggest celebrities. And his wife now, Melania, the model, she's a celebrity. She wants to be a celebrity more now. She wants to be a celebrity. That's what's going on. She has a book. She has a book. And this book, wait, what's this book called? Interesting, because we could say a book or whatever she's doing. What's this? What's her book? I told you Pam Bondi. You see the whole thing, that whole sticky, nasty stuff about Pam Bondi being fired? It wasn't, you got fired. And it was like, yo, bad. It was to help her. It was to help her. So she won't have to testify or, slow it down. It's to slow down the process. That's what it is. It was to slow down the process because they're coming for her. It's not going to stop. They're still going to come for her. Melania, a memoir of grace. Okay. So that's the book what she has. Melania, a memoir of grace. Former first, that's a long time ago. Maybe this is an old book. They're saying she's promoting a book. That's what she's doing. She's promoting a book. She has a book out, 2024, right? What's the book now? What is the book now she's promoting? Right? You're rich, you could have a book. I want to know about the book her and Trump later on, man. That's what I want to know. I want to know about that book. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I want to know about that book. Searching, searching. They're saying she's promoting a book. Melania Trump's memoir titled Melania is revealing account of her life as an immigrant, fashion model, first lady of the United States. That's published in 2024. Right? I don't know if she's people saying talking about a book. See how people could lie about certain stuff and fake news as Trump is talking? Details unusual demand from publisher to interview Melania Trump. Let's see. Don't see anything of that. So it's Donald Trump is definitely behind her coming out and speaking. That's what it seems like. Definitely behind it. Definitely behind it. I don't see no book. People are talking, oh, she has a book. Memoir was done in 2024, right? So this is just to clear her name, man. This is just to clear her name. They're obviously looking to call her. They're looking to call her up. That's what they're doing. They're looking to call her up, the Congress, so she could testify 100%. Everybody in the chat, support the platform. Just give it a like. If you haven't given a like already, give a like. Support the platform. This is the Down to Earth podcast, the Down to Earth network with your host, Sean Myrie. We're on Spotify podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, all podcast platforms, people. All podcast platforms. Yeah. So, the new news First Lady comes out with new memoir. It's 2024. So let's see. No books. It's 2024. Man, this picture of her. Damn, I see a picture of her in here. Damn, way back. How long did they know her? Fact check. Alleged image of Melania Trump pole dancing for Epstein isn't what it seems. Okay, with AI, they could do a lot of stuff nowadays. You can't believe everything. Victims criticize Melania Trump's statement. That's the one what I want to read. What they criticize. On Thursday, First Lady, blah, blah, blah. Let's see what they're saying. Okay, I'm not introduced. Okay, let's see what the victims say. At the end of the statement, she shifted focus to survivors, suggesting there should be a public hearing, right, centered around the survivors. If the First Lady wants to clear her name, she should come before the Oversight Committee. You see what they're saying? She don't want that shit. So they're going to be going after her. They said if the First Lady wants to clear her name, she should come before the Oversight Committee and testify under oath, because she's not when she goes just in the White House. Rep. Suhas Samariam right, said on X. Okay. So they're saying, yeah, if she wants to clear her name, she should go to the court and testify. Don't just, it's more suspect just doing it off the top and just in the White House. That's not a court. So what is that? Sounds like, looks like guilt. She needs to call on her husband and get the remainder of the files released. Who's this who's talking? Somebody who's talking. Okay, hold on a minute. Let's see. It's funny. It says, that's funny. I think it's California rep, this rep, right? Roy Khanna called on Melania Trump to use her power in the White House to release the rest of the Epstein files and said that he absolutely agrees there should be an oversight hearing. She needs to call on her husband and get the remainder of the files released, he said in an interview with MS Now. She needs to call on active Attorney General Todd Blanchett and have investigations, and survivors are absolutely right that the burden should not be on them. The survivors saying basically, we don't really want to talk. You know, we agree with the First Lady Melania Trump call for public hearing with the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. Rep. Robert Garcia D. California posted on X. We encourage Chairman Comer to respond to the First Lady's request and schedule a public hearing immediately. Are they going to do that? Are they really going to listen to her now? They're going to really go do an oversight thing with the survivors? While the top Democrats of the House Oversight Committee agreed with this sentiment, many survivors had the opposing perspective. And to that, the opposing perspective is because some of them got paid off from Epstein. I'm just being honest. Why would you oppose for that? Right? I'm just saying. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Why would you not want the oversight committee to talk to the nation? They're going to give you the spotlight, the nation, to fully bury this guy who's already been buried, right? To fully bury him. So that's what she's saying. Why don't you guys, the survivors, come out and talk? But the survivors are saying, no, survivors have done their part. Now it's time for those. This is what she says, Melania. This is the big part, what she said. And this is where it's going to go back to the rich people, hurt some of them. It says, survivors have done their part. Now it's time for those in power to do their letter reads. The letter said Melania Trump was shifting the burden onto survivors under publicized conditions to protect those with power. The statement also called for former Attorney General Pam Bondi, whom Trump fired earlier this month, to be held responsible for revealing survivors' identities and concealing files. Ooh, it sounds like it's a beef fight going on. Ooh, it sounds like there's a fight going on behind the scenes. Mm. On the same day, First Lady Melania Trump stood in the White House grand foyer to deny any connections with Jeffrey Epstein. A series of posts from a woman named Amando Ungaro started racking up hundreds of thousands of views on X. The posts were directed replies to Melania's archived First Lady account. They were personal combatives and whatever, blah, 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 all types of shit. Either way, I've told you over and over the book of trash. Yeah, she has the book. Lock Trumpito up. The book of trash, yeah. It is. She had a book 2024. People are trying, probably were making jokes that this book is, she's doing a book, she's promoting her book deal. But people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This is the Down to Earth Network, the Down to Earth podcast with your host, Sean Myrie. Yes, thanks for all the people that have joined and watched. Take in the knowledge, tap in. I'm out. Bless up.